Facebook Live. What am I saying Facebook Live for? I'm saying YouTube Live. Hold on a second. I'm checking out my settings here. Hold on. Hey, it's working right. Facebook Live. Okay, I am horizontal. Checking out my settings here. Hold on. That's always one of the number one things I see when creators go live on YouTube, if it's vertical or horizontal, and there's a button you got to hit to make sure that it's working right. So I think I've got it right. Happy Friday, Scott Lara, thecruisegenius.com, president of militaryfairs.com, MSC Seashore behind me. So let me do a year in review. It's what, December 18th, is 18th or 19th? 19th. Year in review. So went on a couple cruises this year. Went on the Ama Waterways, Ama Magna, which was an amazing river cruise. It was my first river cruise on the Danube. And then I went on the Riviera Travel MS George Eliot down the Rhine River. So the Danube and the Rhine. And they are totally different rivers, totally different experiences. If I remember on the Danube trip, it was more of get on the bus and go a little while. Some of them were towns you just got right off and you walked around. But on the Rhine, it was more you don't get a bus. I mean, I think there was one place we had to take a bus. But most of the times you just pulled right in, get off the ship and get off the boat and you're walking around. But both of the experiences on the waterways and Riviera Maya were absolutely incredible. Just had a great time on both river cruises. And I'll tell you, for those of you who know me, over 100 days on Holland America, over 75 on Carnival, MSC, Virgin Voyages, NCL, Celebrity, been on lots of cruises. And once you get to my demographic, once you get to my age, 60 plus, it's kind of nice going on a river cruise, no kids, right? And it's more intimate and you're seeing great sights. And so, if you're interested in a river cruise, definitely email me, scott@militaryfairs.com, scott@militaryfairs.com. And if you don't know what Military Fairs is, I'm the president of that. And it's an online travel agency that gives discounts to veterans and active duty military and their families for hotels, airfare, cruises. scott@militaryfairs.com. So I did the 2 river cruises, and I think Marty and I did 2 or 3 cruises. We were on Celebrity for our anniversary, our 41st anniversary, which was January 7th. And then we just came off the MSC Seashore about 2 weeks ago. And that's why I have the MSC Seashore over my shoulder, because, listen, you don't always get what you pay for, but don't expect something you didn't pay for. What does that mean? That means you could go to a Ritz-Carlton and have a lumpy bed. But don't go to a Motel 6 and experience 5-star food. That's what that means. And I have to give credit to my friend Rocky, who taught me that saying. You don't always get what you pay for, but don't expect something that you didn't pay for. So that's where I segue into MSC. MSC, European, but if you've seen one of the 10 million commercials like I've been seeing about Orlando Bloom and Drew Barrymore, holiday, they are flooding the market with advertising. They did a Super Bowl ad last year. Hey, Scott, hey, what? Would you go on MSC Seashore again every day of the week? But you got to set your expectations. Number one, when you go to Port Canaveral, use port parking space. Port parking space. It's less expensive than the terminal, because the terminal, there's a long line getting in, long line getting out. And if it's raining, it's a pain in the neck. Now, on our MSC Seashore cruise a couple of weeks ago, we went to Nassau, and we've been to Nassau, we've been to Nassau many times, but we usually don't get off the ship. Well, a couple of years ago, they upgraded the port there. So my wife insisted that we get off the ship, which we did, bought our granddaughter, a cute little Nassau, Bahamas dress. She's going to be 2 this year. And it's great just to walk around in the port there and not leave and go into town. So we did that, okay? And if you want, you can get the local food, blah, blah, blah. Private islands. Now, you and I both know why cruise lines are doing more private islands. Why? I'll tell you why. That's why I'm the cruise genius. I'll tell you why. Real hair. It's my real hair. I've been getting a lot of comments. Yes, it's my real hair. These private islands, it helps keep the money in the cruise line's pocket. What does that mean? St. Barts, St. Kitts, St. Thomas. If you get off the ship, you're spending money and helping the local economy. But when you get off on a private island, Royal Caribbean, Holland America, Carnival, MSC, they keep the money for anything you spend on the island, right? So that's why they're doing it. And perfect day at Coco Cay. I mean, totally a money grab. I mean, buy a cabana, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. They're making a ton of money, which great, good for them, make money. But let's go back to MSC Seashore. The MSC Seashore is only a couple of years old. It was built in 2021. I think around 150 to 170,000 tons, around 5,000 people or so. Very family friendly. Do I recommend the MSC Seashore? Yes, but you got to limit your expectations. Now, if you go up to the yacht club, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, but you'll have great service. You'll be the ship within a ship, just like the Haven on NCL, ship within a ship. You're not going to be dealing with the masses. But I tell you, for the 4 or 5 times I've been on the MSC Seashore, yes, the buffet can be crowded, but the secret to that is go to the very back of the ship and it's not so crowded there. Use those glass elevators. And of course, Ocean Cay or Ocean Key. MSC Reserve, preserve the flora, the fauna, the environment. It's a great little private island, and the best thing about it is they don't leave like at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Either they'll spend the night or they'll stay till like 7 o'clock, which is kind of cool. So you got more time to be on the island. But it's a small island, and there are several beaches there, and they have several food trucks, and it's nice. I mean, it's a nice little beach island day. You really can't beat it. It's different than Half Moon Cay, and I've been to Half Moon Cay probably 10 or 15 times. And that's a great place, too. You get lunch there, and you can, whatever. Nothing to write home about. I mean, Half Moon Cay is nice. If I had a choice between Half Moon Cay and Ocean Cay, I'd probably choose Ocean Cay. Because Ocean Cay, you just step right off the ship, and you're there. You're not having to take a tender or a boat back and forth, And supposedly they're building a pier there in Ocean Cay, in Half Moon Cay. Now, I've been to Perfect Day at Coco Cay 2 or 3 times, and it's absolutely great, but you better bring your wallet if you want to do extra stuff. Haven't been to Celebration Key yet, and I really have no desire to go back on Carnival. I have no desire to go to Celebration Key. I got my card over here, my Platinum. Can I reach it? Hold on. I have my Platinum VIFP card right here. And we all know about Carnival. If you're Diamond, you're Diamond forever. But if you're Platinum, you got to get to a certain level, blah, blah, blah. So I'm done with Carnival. I really am. But, I mean, I'm not done with Holland America. I mean, I love Holland America. It's definitely my demographic. And I have several friends that are on Holland America ships that work on them. But let's go back to the MSC Seashore. I live in Jacksonville, so it's only a 2.5 hour drive, unless you're going over Thanksgiving holiday. It could be a 3-hour drive. But it's only a 2.5 hour drive from Jacksonville, or like maybe an hour drive from Orlando. Go to Port Canaveral. Port parking spaces where we park. They have military discounts. And you get right on the ship, and it's zip, zip. The only thing I will say is securely affix your luggage tags. Because if a luggage tag falls off, then you got to go get it down at the atrium. But I really enjoyed the MSC Seashore. The food was not a 10. The service was good. But I mean, if you want to get away for 4 days, You can't beat it. And right now in January, for some of the sailings, it's under $200 per person for 5 days, 4 nights. You can't beat that. So email me Scott at militaryfairs.com. I'll get you on the MSC Seashore. I'll get you on cruises. And of course, for your airfare and hotels and rental cars and packages, militaryfairs.com. And so that's what I want to say about that. I hope you have a great holiday, great Christmas. What else do I want to say? I mean, cruising is just continuing to go like this. MSC is building more ships. Carnival, Celebrity is building river cruise ships. It seems like these executives are looking and not recognizing something that I see as a smart person. I mean, the more ships you build, the more berths, the more beds you have. I tell you, there's going to come a point where, I don't know. I really don't know. Only 10% of Americans have cruised, and of those 10% of Americans have cruised, many of them are repeat cruisers. So if they're trying to get new cruisers, that's great. But I think there's going to come a point, I mean, NCL, Virgin, MSC, Carnival, Celebrity, Holland America. You have all these brands, and they're all fighting for people. Now, granted, I saw a story about Mickey Arison and Ted Arison, the founders of Carnival. You have the different brands. You got Princess, you got Holland America, you got Carnival. So you're going for the different demographics. But as people, I used to be 40 and now I'm over 60. As these people get older, they're going to move into a different ship class, a different cruise line. Are there enough people for Carnival? Are enough people for NCL? Are there enough people for MSC? I guess as these younger people are young, they're going to be in that group. But as they get to be 50 and 60, they're going to go to Virgin, they're going to go to Celebrity, they're going to go to Holland America, they're going to go to Princess. Or they're going to go to the Yacht Club on MSC or the Haven on NCL. It's a fascinating business. And I love cruising. I'm a Navy veteran, so I love cruising. I love being out to sea. I love stopping at the islands. Like I said, I've been to Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, Martinique, St. Barts, St. Kitts. Been all over the world. Literally. I mean, I've been all over the world from being in the Navy. And cruising remains a great option. Anyway, that being said, 12 minutes. Scott Lara, thecruisegenius.com, president of militaryfairs.com. MSC Seashore, you want to go? Email me, Scott at militaryfairs.com. I may go with you. I just put some people on the Norwegian Gem out of Jacksonville. They had a good time. Anyway, have a great holiday, great Christmas, Happy New Year. Scott at militaryfairs.com. Check out all my YouTube videos, like and subscribe, comment. And to all my other, content creator friends out there, Cruise Radio, Cruise Fever, so many of them. I mean, they do a great job. Definitely support them too with your likes and subscribing and all that. In the Loop Travel, my friend John over there. Special shout out to Cruise Radio, Doug Parker, Cruise Radio. Been doing this a long time. So special shout out to him, Ben over at Cruise Fever, Jason, all the guys and ladies out there. Scott Lara, thecruisegenius.com. Have a good one.